Good evening, Angela Pearman with ABC National News. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Managing Director has defended secret plans to sell news and other programs to Telstra. Brian John says the ABC's independence will be guaranteed, but critics are concerned the national broadcaster's integrity could be compromised.
ABC News, free to air.
SOCOG has some serious revenue problems.
ABC News online, coming to you soon on Telstra.com, a competitor to the ABC's own online service. If it goes ahead, it'll bring $67 million over 5 years to the ABC. That more than matches the government's budget cut since the ABC's managing director, Brian Johns, has been in office. He will see it as his parting triumph. He leaves in 6 weeks.
It is the opportunity to reach new audiences on the internet. It is the opportunity to share in new methods of distribution.
The deal would allow Telstra.com to offer ABC News and other programs, but emphatically without advertising, at least for the time being.
Now, it is true that at a future date, maybe a couple of years down the track, it would be available to the ABC if the board at the time wanted to share in any advertising revenue that Telstra gained from using ABC content.
Government support is obvious.
After all, the BBC's been going down this path for quite a while, and if you can firewall your commercial activities, then I think you can ensure that you get the best of both worlds.
The opposition wants an end to the way the deal has so far been done.
I call upon the board and the management of the ABC to ensure that no final proposal is entered into prior to the opportunity of maximum parliamentary and public scrutiny.
Jeff Sims, ABC News.
An Australian tourist is recovering in a Thai hospital after she was stabbed and beaten while camping in a remote area in the country's north. Her male travelling companion was shot dead during the attack.
Battered and shocked, Sherry McFarlane is recovering from the attack in hospital. Her mother has flown to her side, her father thankful she lived.
Severely beaten and left for dead. And she crawled to 400 or 500 metres, she said, to get help. Obviously we were upset, but at the same time we're very, very grateful that Sherry has survived this. We're very upset for the other family.
Miss McFarlane and 23-year-old Kelvin Burke had been camping in a national park on the Thai-Burmese border when they were set upon by 4 armed men.
The man was shot dead on the spot. The woman then had to fight off her attackers. They beat her quite severely. The
25-year-old from Eltham in Melbourne escaped death when a bandit's homemade gun failed to fire. The Burke family has gathered at their Swan Hill home, too distressed to talk. The attack came in a border area where tourists are advised to take care, with drug trafficking making it less safe. Ms McFarlane is expected to return home in about a week. Thai police say they've detained up to 10 people for questioning. Helen Vines, ABC News, Melbourne.
The Queensland Labor government is nervously awaiting results of today's 2 crucial by-elections, with its 1-seat majority in Parliament hanging in the balance. Counting has been underway for more than an hour. Early figures showing Labor's Joanne Miller is polling strongly in her electorate of Bundamba. Woodridge in Brisbane South is expected to be a much closer contest, with former State Secretary Mike Kaiser fighting a tough battle. The by-elections were triggered by the resignations of 2 long-standing Labor members accused of ignoring their electorates. A 26-year-old Adelaide man is recovering in hospital after being attacked by a shark while surfing off South Australia's Eyre Peninsula. The man's best friend helped fight off the shark, thought to be a white pointer.
26-year-old Steve Thomas is a reluctant hero, today playing down his efforts to save lifelong friend Anthony Hayes. Thomas helped fight off a shark that attacked them as they were paddling their surfboards in the remote waters of South Australia's Cactus Beach. The shark grabbed Hayes by the hands, pulling him into the water. Mr. Thomas poked and punched the shark in the eyes, using his surfboard to free his friend.
It basically had a chomp at Anthony, and then it came back about 3 or 4 times. I really didn't have time to think about anything. It just happened. I couldn't even describe what the feelings were at the time, apart from being very, very afraid. Just did the best we could to get in as soon as we could before he started losing too much blood and stuff.
The pair managed to catch a wave back to shore and then raised the alarm.
Steve had carried him from waist deep water because they'd sort of floated in on the surfboards to the beach, and then we carried him up into some shade under the cliff. And Steve had wrapped towels around his injuries at that stage. They both seemed fairly calm, and the ambulance then met Steve and Andy's halfway between here and Ceduna.
Mr Hayes underwent surgery this morning for injuries to his hands, arms and chest. Graham Badger, ABC News, Adelaide.
And now a brief look at tomorrow's weather around the country. The chance of a late shower for Sydney, partly cloudy for Canberra, early drizzle for Melbourne, showers and storms for Darwin, and fine in the other capitals. And we'll have more news in an hour.